The All-State Sugar Bowl just got a whole lot more interesting as we're likely to see Gunner Stockton and not Carson Beck. Talk about why, what that means for the winner of Notre Dame, Indiana, which is going to play on Friday night, and what we can expect in the All-State Sugar Bowl. What's up, kinfolk? It's RJ Young. I am not on a step mill. If this is your first time watching the #1 college football show, please subscribe to the channel, ring the bell so you don't miss any of the segments that we upload to the channel, instant reacting like we do right here, right now. And like this video to let YouTube know, hey, I'm down with the channel. It's not going to really affect your algorithm and how things are displayed to you. It's just going to boost the show so that other people can join the more than 122,000 subscribers to this channel dating back to September 2017. We all got this started. I got a history with Georgia. We'll get to some of that. But to start with, let's go with Carson Beck is likely not going to play, let alone start, in Georgia's Sugar Bowl game against the winner of Notre Dame, Indiana. Of course, that game is at Notre Dame with Indiana looking to upset, I think, the Fighting Irish. Y'all are always weird about upsets. I look at the seeding and the ranking. I don't really give a damn about what Vegas got to say about this, but I think even Vegas is going, nah, Notre Dame feels like they got the advantage here. They got a great defense. They got a great rushing attack. They can sit on you. The weather is going to be awful. All of that is going to be working in Notre Dame's favor. Now, assuming that Georgia is ready for either one of those, we're really going to get to see the Gunner Stockton experience for the first time in an entire game. Now, Stockton was widely regarded as one of the best quarterbacks of his class. First committed to South Carolina, people forget that. Then he flipped to Georgia, and he's been waiting his turn, not unlike Carson Beck was waiting his when Stetson Bennett was the quarterback that led Georgia to 2 national championships after 40 years without a single win as a national champion. Now, I think when we talk about Gunner Stockton, the thing that you're probably going to get inundated with is his ability to make things happen when the pocket breaks down. This is a guy that rushed for over 4,000 yards in high school, had damn near 13,000 plus yards in high school, and really can make things happen that Carson Beck could not. The reason that we're seeing Gunner Stockton is because at the end of the first half of the SEC championship game against Texas, he went to go throw a football. He hit his elbow on a helmet, and it looks like he had ruptured the ulnar tendon in his elbow. This is an injury that baseball pitchers seem to get more often than not. Requires some level of Tommy John surgery because you got to reattach that thing and then you have to rehab it. It's a really difficult injury to come back from. But at the time that he had injured this, it was thought to be a sprain. It's thought to be something that, given some time, would heal. But apparently, doctors at Georgia do not want to clear him to play football, and he's seeking other medical opinions, which means that he's probably not going to play for the rest of the season because seeking other medical opinions is one thing. But if the Georgia team doctors don't want you to play, you ain't going to play, right? That's just what it is. I'm sure that they've had these discussions. They're ongoing. If he woke up tomorrow and miraculously could pass whatever physical test that these doctors want him to pass, he would be the starting quarterback. He's one of the guys that's still selected or supposed to go in the first round with selection as one of the top 4 quarterbacks in this upcoming NFL draft class, especially knowing that Garrett Nussmeier is returning for his senior season at LSU. And we're talking about Dylan Gabriel, Cam Ward, and then Shedeur Sanders, and then maybe Carson Beck, depending on how this goes. But for Georgia, this allows Mike Bobo something like an Arch Manning experience. The reason that we've been talking so much about Quinn Ewers is the same reason we've been talking so much about Carson Beck. I find it funny that the quarterbacks for the 2 best teams in the SEC are the guys that half the fan base just feels like should not be the starting quarterback anymore. They are ready to see the younger, much more mobile and agile quarterback take on this responsibility because you don't want to see that guy standing back there taking sacks and throwing the football to the other team. Carson Beck is not known for his mobility, neither is Quinn Ewers. Against these fronts that you're going to see from Notre Dame or Indiana and then deeper into the college football playoff, you make it that far, you're going to see guys that can run down Carson Beck and Quinn Ewers and are going to see him like a sitting duck. We're just going to try to knock him off his spot every chance we get. With a guy like Arch Manning and a guy like Gunner Stockton, they have an opportunity to outrun somebody to the edge and either pick up a first down or get rid of the football or make a play where there is no play to be made. We saw this when Gunner Stockton was able to put his head down quite literally take it on the skull, get the helmet knocked off in what was a savage but legal hit, and line up just so Carson Beck could come in there with one arm, hand the ball off to Trevor Etienne, and then they win this game 22-19. It's much closer than I thought it was going to be, and frankly, I thought Texas just did not once again have a great game plan for how to get past that Georgia defense that was really good at stopping them from doing the thing they wanted to do, which is run the football. You're able to run the football against Georgia. If you're Texas, you get these one-on-ones on the outside with these fast receivers, and you're playing single high with Malachi Starks, and you feel like you can win that match, right? I am curious to find out what Mike Bobo is going to do with Gunner Stockton, because if he does the Mike Bobo thing, which is play safe, hand the football off, throw a wide receiver screen here or there, give an end around to Dylan Bell here or there, folks are not going to be happy about that. And then you're going to go down by a couple of scores. You're going to spread it out, and Gunner Stockton's going to start to operate, and you're going to say, where was this the whole time? I think that's how you got to go into this game. I think you cannot afford to just let Gunner Stockton ease his way into the game with handoffs and RPOs and wide receiver screens, bubble screens, those sorts of things. I think you got to go 3 and 4 wide. Say, I got Oscar Delp. I got Dylan Bell. I've got Dominic Lovett. I'm going to go after you. Arian Smith, get on your horse and go catch this football. I'm going to launch it deep. And as soon as they start to back off and they play quarters with me, I am about to either hand this ball off to Trevor Etienne or Cash Jones, or I myself am going to go pick up the yards that are necessary, and we're going to keep playing this game until such a time as you figure me out. But I'm going to keep trying to wrong foot you. If I see too high, I want to run the football. If I see quarters, I'm going to want to run the football. But if you give them the opportunity to catch you on first down when they know that you're probably going to be in your ace formation, your 2 tight ends, and handing the ball off, you're just giving away downs here. You can't do that against good football teams. Indiana, Notre Dame are good football teams. I don't know that they're as good as Texas, but are you going to really want to risk that with Gunner Stockton as your starting quarterback? And that game is not that far away, given what the calendar is showing for us. I know that Gunner Stockton is ready for this moment because we saw it in the second half against Texas. Same way that we knew that Arch Manning was ready for the moment because we saw it in the second half against UTSA. Now, UTSA ain't Georgia. Same difference. But I think you also relish this opportunity if you're Notre Dame or Indiana because you know what you have at quarterback. And while we think we know what Georgia has as quarterback, we're not at all totally sure that the Gunner Stockton experiment is going to live up to its billing because 2 things can happen. He can put the ball on the floor, hadn't carried the ball that much, so we don't know, and he can throw the ball to other people. That is what rookies do, and he is a rookie. Rookies throw the ball to other people. If you're Mike Bobo and you're probably getting breathed down your neck going, do not give this ball away. Make this safe for Gunner Stockton, your hands are tied. Your hands are tied. Because if Kirby Smart's in your ear on the headset going, I don't want you to get in the way of my defense, then that's just what's going to be. I hope that's not the case because the insight that I get in this goes back to Todd Monken when he was coordinator at Georgia and they won those 2 national championships. One of the things that Todd Monken had taught Kirby is basically in the interview. He said, look, when you say run the football or throw the football, I need to know, are you telling or suggesting? Because if you're telling, I'm going to do that. But if you're suggesting, I need to be able to wave you off. I need to be able to tell you that I need to run my offense. And you know what? With a guy like Todd Monken, given his background, his story, Kirby Smart was inclined to do that. I think that's what he's inclined to do with Mike Bobo. I think. But I haven't heard any of those discussions. All I've heard is Mike Bobo and Carson Beck want to prove that they can win a national championship too. Now it feels like they're going to have to do that with Gunner Stockton at quarterback. And if you're seeking other opinions and you want to play, I'm not so certain that Carson Beck is in on the meetings the way that I would like a veteran starting quarterback to be in on those meetings and be in Gunner Stockton's ear, coaching the hell up out of him, being his personal quarterback's coach, because that's what he's going to need. You know, as much promise and talent as this guy has, and he has it, and he's fierce, and he's a competitor, I hope that Carson Beck can pour everything he's got into Gunner Stockton and be that guy that he trusts on the sideline to see it, be next to him with the iPad going, you see this right here, they're going to do this again. When they go back, you hit them here. I think he's got that. And for a guy that can solve a Rubik's Cube in 30 seconds and, you know, I'm sorry about his right arm because that's a Snapchat arm, and the Lamborghini and whatnot, all of these things that are eccentricities about Carson Beck, I think he's a pretty damn good quarterback. I think he sees the game very well. And I think they're going to need his expertise going into Gunner Stockton to win a national championship, because that's what it's going to be. It's not just Notre Dame, Indiana. It's the rest of the way. The rest of the bracket also got to feel real good about this because, okay, now we really know that it's just Oregon that we got to worry about in as far as a team that feels like it's just built to win this year right here, right now. A lot can change over the next couple of days. Friday, Saturday, we play 4 college football playoff games. But for now, Gunner Stockton is going to be the story when we head into next week.